The first update we have today is, well, RHOC star Heather Dubrow is opening up about a major cast scandal. We're talking hate rhetoric accounts. She's also explaining why her friendship with Tamra Judge is on the rocks, and how a broken cake might actually define the show's future. Now that the season's over, she's spilling the tea on where things stand for season 20. Alright, so first, about Gretchen Rossi and those anti-LGBT posts. Heather says she still thinks Gretchen is a good person, but her real concern is someone following those kinds of accounts. She literally asked what her For You page is like. Heather made it clear her job isn't to fix people, but to highlight and educate, and just hope they'll clean it up. This whole idea of boundaries leads right into her issues with Tamra Judge. Heather admitted Tamra wasn't happy with her this season, but says being a real friend means saying things Tamra won't always like. She can't be friends blindly because that's not a real friendship. And looking ahead to season 20, when asked about Katie Janela coming back, Heather just said it's above my pay grade. She wants the show to get back to the fun, our trips, and our petty drama, like when someone broke the bow off my cake and ate it. In short, Heather is drawing a line in the sand on cast behavior while trying to steer the show back to lighter, fun reality TV. Before we get into the next update, please make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to this channel. Okay then, let's move on to next update now.
Next, we are going to talk about what looks like a massive peace treaty in the world of Jersey housewives. Just when you thought the truce between Teresa Giudice, her brother Joe, and Melissa Gorga was the whole story, well, Teresa has just confirmed she's reconciled with another family member she was famously estranged from. She revealed the news on her podcast, Turning the Tables, about her cousin, Kathy Wakile. Teresa said that making up with Joe made her realize that he, Kathy, and Rosie are her only family in New Jersey, so she decided to reach out to Kathy first. She said Kathy was very nice, and Teresa also mentioned that she's happy for her because Kathy's daughter, Victoria, is having a baby. And it seems the feeling was mutual. Kathy followed up by sending what Teresa described as a beautiful text to both her and Joe. She told them she was just so happy that the siblings had finally made up. And this is a really big deal, especially after all those recent rumors that Teresa was trying to team up with Kathy to target Melissa and Joe. But it looks like the piece is real because Teresa, Joe, Melissa, and Teresa's husband, Luis Ruelas, were all spotted having dinner together just this week. So this was today's update about the massive peace achieved in the Giudice and Gorga family. Let's now move on to next update.
Next, we are going to talk about a major reality TV fallout. We're talking about a friendship that has just completely imploded, with one of the stars now questioning if the whole thing was fake from the start. And, well, their fellow cast members are pretty much saying they saw it coming all along. So, Sutton Streck looked back on the end of her friendship with Garcelle, and she's insisting she never, ever felt their relationship was fake. She said Garcelle was one of her best friends in Los Angeles, and the idea of it being some kind of setup just wasn't on her radar. Sutton even confirmed she reached out multiple times after the reunion. She even texted Garcelle about grabbing dinner with Jennifer Tilly. But their last interaction? It was back on April 1st, when Garcelle just said she was not available. So for Sutton, it was pretty insulting to later hear Garcelle claim that she did more for the friendship. Now, this whole breakdown basically confirmed what the other cast members suspected. Dorit Kemsley and Kyle Richards both felt the friendship was very much an alliance. Dorit figured that Garcelle and Sutton felt like the new kids fighting the Fox Force 5, and that Garcelle just expected blind loyalty. Kyle pointed out that Garcelle unfollowing Sutton and never speaking to her again pretty much confirmed their theory. Jennifer Tilly did defend it, calling it a very real friendship, and Erika Jane thought it was real too, though she questioned how deep it really was. Now, Erika and Dorit both think the damage is irreparable, with Dorit suggesting Garcelle won't make amends unless she returns to the show. And as a little aside, Bozoma St. John mentioned Garcelle now wants Erika fired, to which Erika just asked, "Why me? What did I do?" So this was today's update about the surprising drama between Garcelle and Sutton. Let's now move on to the next update.
Next, we are going to talk about some really intense divorce rumors surrounding Whitney Rose and her husband, Justin. Word on the street is they've blown through their entire life savings, and he's so fed up, he's about to blindside her and end their marriage. So this is all playing out on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and it centers on some major financial drama. Whitney admitted on the show that she made a really bad decision by merging her company, Wild Rose Beauty. Justin had gone all in with her on this venture, and she confessed, "Now we have nothing." She really felt like she failed her family. All that business stress created a lot of tension in their marriage. Whitney said she resented Justin because she felt like she had no other choice but to follow his plan to change up the business model, and well, it just didn't work. Then, an insider claimed Justin was sick and tired of the show and was actually speaking with divorce lawyers to blindside Whitney. But another source close to them went straight to Radar Online and shut that down, saying the divorce claims are only rumors and that it's not true. For his part, Justin did acknowledge on the show that he made a mistake and understood why Whitney was resentful. He said he always believed in the company, he just thought the merger was a way they could work together. So this was today's update about Whitney and Justin Rose. Let's now move on to next update.
Next, we are going to talk about reality TV's longest-running star, Kyle Richards, who just dropped major updates on her life. She's confirming whether or not divorce papers are coming for her and Mauricio, and she reveals a dramatic confrontation with a longtime castmate that left their friendship worse off than ever. So, after 15 years on the show, Kyle admits she's quit in her mind so many times. She says she keeps returning partly because she's afraid of change and doesn't want to lose that connection with the cast and crew. She mentioned the hardest parts for her were always those arguments with her sisters, like Kim Richards, playing out right in front of the cameras. Now about her and Mauricio Umansky, they did separate, but she says fighting was never really an issue in their marriage. They still get along very well. And the big question, divorce? Well, Kyle says they have not had that conversation yet. She acknowledges it's confusing for people, but says they're just navigating it. She also gave an update on her sobriety, confirming she hasn't had alcohol for 3 years and 5 months, and this actually connects to some major cast drama. Her co-star, Dorit, questioned her about it after mistaking a non-alcoholic drink for champagne. Kyle says she feels Dorit is not open-minded to listening, and because of that, their friendship is now worse off than ever. It sounds like a recent cast trip was really disappointing and set them way back, even involving Erika. So this was today's update about Kyle Richards' status on RHOBH and her personal life. Let's now move on to the next update.
Next, we're going to talk about the disturbing details of a celebrity divorce that was described as a decade of torture, allegedly involving fraud, hacking, and emotional abuse far worse than other lifelong traumas. So Bethenny Frankel recently opened up about her 10-year divorce battle with her ex-husband, Jason Hoppy, who's the father of her daughter, Bryn. And what she described was honestly just a nightmare. She said this experience was the absolute hardest thing she's ever lived through. I mean, she compared other major traumas in her life, like being around guns or even seeing her mother attempt suicide, to child's play next to this divorce. She detailed this marathon of harassment and abuse, alleging things like fraud, stealing, and hacking. She gave these really chilling examples, like Jason Hoppy allegedly Googling her 60 times a day, or just staring into her face while she was in bed, calling her names like Ursula the Witch. The whole process apparently cost millions of dollars. But the most traumatic part for her was how their daughter, Bryn, was allegedly used as a pawn. Bethenny recalled these moments of just pure torment, like Jason FaceTiming a toilet so she couldn't speak to Bryn, and saying things like, "I know, Bryn, you don't want to go with your mama." Yet, despite all of this, which made her lose her hair and feel like she'd never be happy again, Bethenny confirmed she never spoke badly about him in front of their daughter. She really stressed that kids, they eventually figure things out on their own. So this was today's update about Bethenny Frankel's shocking divorce revelations. Let's now move on to the next update.
Next, we are going to talk about a major legal battle that's rocking the reality TV world. We've got one star officially suing another for defamation over sexual assault claims. And get this, he's using her own text messages to back up his side of the story. So Marciano Burnett is suing Demi Engelman and her show's producer, Jeff Jenkins. The whole conflict started with what Marciano calls a consensual kiss when they were filming Vanderpump Villa. He's alleging that months later, Demi completely reframed that kiss as sexual assault, purely to create a dramatic storyline for her own show. Now, in response, Demi went on her show and called him a sexual predator. She also posted on social media that she was anxious to see how many other women come forward, implying he's assaulted others. But this is where Marciano's case really hinges on his evidence. He submitted alleged text messages from Demi that were sent after the incident in Italy. These texts supposedly show her inviting him to her show's premiere and continuing to call and FaceTime him. His argument is basically, this proves they had a continued relationship, which isn't how someone who was just sexually assaulted would act. And on top of that, Lisa Vanderpump has publicly defended Marciano. She said she's seen every ounce of the footage and knows what happened, suggesting that people have a very good reason to doubt Demi's story. So now, Marciano is seeking financial damages for his lost career opportunities and an injunction to stop them from ever repeating the claims. So this was today's update about the Marciano Brunette and Demi Engelman legal battle. Let's now move on to the next update. Next, we are going to talk about RHOP star Jassi Rideaux. She is not holding back at all. She's spilling all the details on why she literally cut a castmate out of her wedding photos, calling them fake and pointing fingers at who she thinks is just making up drama for the cameras. It really sounds like Jassi is drawing a hard line about who's genuine. So, okay, the wedding photo. Fans noticed that castmate Stacey Rush was just gone from some of the pictures, and Jassi came right out and admitted she did it. She said, pretty bluntly, I didn't want anybody faking my photo, and that she felt Stacey's mask starting to slip. You know, for Jassi, her wedding day is truly so sacred. She just wanted real people around her. This all comes after Giselle Bryant had apparently said that Stacey didn't even want to go to the wedding unless she knew her return to the show was confirmed. Then there's the huge fight she had with Tia Glover. This whole thing kicked off because Tia made a joke just weeks before the wedding about Jassi having some kind of connection at a resort. Jassi said she first had a very calm conversation with Tia to just draw a boundary. She was worried it could be twisted into a false rumor later on. Well, Jassi says she only snapped at dinner because Tia went and told the whole group about their private chat. Jassi is convinced Tia brought it up again just because she wanted a big argument for the show. And finally, about Keiarna Stewart. Jassi thinks she was just trying to do the most to see what stuck. She basically summed it up by saying Keiarna was weird and trying to have a moment and it didn't land.